finally here to see what the money that we raise on Venmo actually does. This is Tim Crosby. Tim has been my contact since the very beginning. We actually talked months ago about possibly doing a sponsorship. And then I got kind of intoxicated one night, tweeted out that I wanted to raise money, and then the next thing I knew, $30,000 was in the account. So I was like, I need to get Tim back on the line. We don't need to raise money. We have raised the money.
And what we're doing matters. It's why our founder, Sherry Duval, created K9s For Warriors, and it's why we all do what we do. Which basically is we train dogs, the vast majority of which are rescue dogs, with the best professional dog trainers in the country, in our view, to be service dogs for post 9/11 vets with the invisible wounds of war.
So we're here with Andrew and Bailey. And Andrew, why don't you tell us a little bit about the process of choosing the dogs and training them, if you could.
Yeah. So whenever a dog comes into the program, we have our own procurement team. They have to work for food. They have to like people. They have to like other dogs. We teach all the dogs basic obedience. Sit. Say I'm feeling anxious out in public. Bailey, block. And it's basically just a stand stay right in front of me. If I need to, I can get some, I can love on her a little bit. Yes. And so she's just gonna sit here. Again, I can reach out and touch her if I need to. And she's just there to signal to me if anybody's coming up behind me.
So the next step that we'll talk about is how they get the dog to mesh and become really a dog team is what they're gonna become.
Right.
Now we're here with Greg, who does more of the warrior side things. We're standing in one of the warrior houses because one of the big questions that we had, what does that money actually go to? Because they knew that the service dogs were largely adopted. Well, you see it now. Like, they live here for 3 weeks. All their food is paid for. Everything that they need is going to be fulfilled by the organizations from the donations that you guys gave and that other people are giving too, because they have to bring in a lot of money to keep this type of organization going. So whenever the dog is done, like we just talked with Andrew, what are some of the things that you really focus on to get them paired with a warrior?
The dog trainers meet the warriors on day one, right after they come in. We put them to bed, let them spend the night. First thing Monday morning, they have a meeting with all the dog trainers, and they're asking them specific questions to try to figure out what kind of person they are. How active are you? Where do you live? What's the home environment like? Possible future activities. Do you want to go to ball games?
And your dog here, his name is Utah.
This is Utah.
And it's important to note that he said that he's a graduate. So this is actually his dog that helps him through issues that he has.
I was on 14 medications at the time, and now I'm on none. I'm on 0.
And the medicine part is a part that I want to make a note on. There's an opiate epidemic that's happening because of the way that a lot of the VA treats the veterans. They come back, and a lot of times to get rid of PTSD or get rid of it, you just throw medicine down people's throats. Well, a lot of times a dog can replace that medicine. PTSD is not a weakness by any means. I think it's a normal and natural response to seeing traumatic events over a long period of time or even a short period of time. And what you guys are doing and how you're helping people is absolutely incredible. So thank you for everything that you're doing here. Yeah. And look at Utah, man. Utah's like the greatest dog. Just chilling. We've gone in different locations, and Utah's just hanging out. And I'm pumped to show our viewers, our listeners, our watchers that we're going to have updates throughout the time. Once that dog's Venmo and ZB actually start going through school, they're going to give us weekly updates, and I'll give those to you as well, because I want this to be something that's not like, oh, we talked about it one time and then we kind of forget about it, but I want it to be fresh on our minds all the time, because there's people over a 16-year war that we're fighting in Afghanistan, Iraq, and really around the globe, that this is going to be an epidemic that happens for a long time, and there's got to be organizations and people who are doing things, raising money to help these people out, or the cost is going to cripple the VA and the American government eventually. So this is just a really important thing, and I'm glad to be a part of it. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for K9s For Warriors for all you do. Thanks to all the staff that helped us out while we're here and made our trip in Ponte Vedra that much better.
Thank you.
Go Jaguars and Semper Fidelis.